So my family jokes with me that prior to YouTube, all we ever ate was green beans and grilled chicken or like sauteed chicken. They're not wrong, but I'm constantly looking for new ideas and new recipes to bring to you guys, which obviously benefits my family too, because we get to try all these different things. One thing that I've really discovered is that chicken does not have to be boring. There's so many ways to make chicken. So if you're bored of chicken, if you feel like you're making the same thing over and over again, I've got so many recipes here that are gonna get you out of that rut. But today we're gonna focus on chicken, and we're gonna make some really good chicken recipes that you guys are gonna love. Tonight's dinner can definitely be an appetizer, or you can make this a complete meal for your family. These are wonton tacos, okay? I'm very excited about these because you guys know in the past I bought wonton wrappers. I made a recipe with them that we loved, and then I made another recipe with them that we loved. Then I bought them again. Now we have leftover wonton wrappers again, so now we're gonna make this recipe. Long story short, we like wonton wrappers, we found out. So, we are starting by preheating our oven to 375 degrees. It is almost there. I've also taken 2 chicken breasts and we have diced it up, but you want it to be a fine dice. Remember, wonton wrappers are only like this big. You don't want huge chunks of chicken in there, so it's a pretty fine dice on this chicken. Also, I am sort of following a recipe that I found, but there are several ingredients in this recipe that we don't eat anymore, just for one reason or another. So I'm gonna be changing up some stuff along the way, just FYI. So if you see this in the description box, the link, and you say she used something different or she skipped out on that ingredient, that's why. To this chicken, I'm gonna add about a tablespoon or so of this oyster sauce. So I'm not measuring. Doesn't really have a strong smell or anything. About a tablespoon. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean, this is gonna all cook anyway. We wanna add soy sauce, or in our case, we use coconut aminos, about 2 tablespoons of that. And because soy sauce is obviously salty, this is not, coconut aminos is much sweeter, I'm gonna toss in some salt in there. All right, let's add in some minced garlic. I thought that we had grated ginger, but we don't. We only have this ground ginger. I'm still gonna use it because ginger is awesome and it's literally one of my favorite flavors. So we're just going to kind of toss all that together and then just set it to the side for a few minutes while I prep the wonton wrappers. Oh, I know. Because some of the ingredients are different, I'm gonna add in a little bit of this organic sweet chili sauce. I get this at Whole Foods. Honestly, it's the best one that I've found. We've tried several different ones. I think Trader Joe's also has a pretty good one too, but all of the ones in the grocery store that are this sweet chili sauce, they have a bunch of ingredients in it that this one doesn't have. So I really do like this one. I'm gonna add a little bit of this in here, maybe a tablespoon, because we really love this flavor. And again, just mix together, and then we'll let this sit to the side for just a couple minutes and get started on the wonton wrappers. Okay, my method for the wonton wrappers might be a little strange, so bear with me for a moment. We're going to take them out of the package, first of all. It's got a little wrinkled. You need to spray these on both sides with oil, and we're using an avocado oil. Feel free to use whatever kind you typically use in your household. Once you have these sprayed on both sides, you're going to drape them over the side of your baking dish, okay? And actually this expeller pressed, what's it called? Expeller pressed avocado oil is, oh man, I just ripped it, is fantastic. I love the spray on it, love it, okay? But it puts a lot of stuff out. So I'm actually just gonna do this and just kind of take some oil from each one onto another. Now, because I wanna get more in there at a time, I'm just gonna put another glass bowl in here and do the same thing. So ideally, we're gonna make 4 per person. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We need 1 more. I can do it. These are gonna go into my 375 degree preheated oven for 7 to 8 minutes. We wanna make sure that they don't burn, so I am gonna be watching them. And what's gonna happen is once we take these out of the oven, I will be able to still manipulate them a bit And because they're gonna be, you know, really close together at this point. So I'll still be able to manipulate them, then they'll go back into the oven for a couple more minutes. All right, before we get that chicken cooking, I'm gonna make up a little Asian inspired coleslaw. I have this bag of coleslaw mix. You can absolutely add sesame oil if you would like. It's totally fine. It adds great flavor. I'm just gonna add a little bit of avocado oil, and then we want to add some rice vinegar, and I did have to buy a new one for this. I need also about a tablespoon of this, but we like rice vinegar, so maybe closer to like a tablespoon and a half. Also gonna add some coconut aminos, or in our case, or in your case, it might be soy sauce. Either one is fine. About a tablespoon and a half-ish. And I'm gonna add salt again because coconut aminos is sweeter than, what's it called? Soy sauce. And I'm also gonna add about a tablespoon of honey. Why is this not opening? I used it earlier today, there we go. So this one's an easy recipe. Oh, that's a little more than a tablespoon, but it'll be okay. This is an easy recipe to remember because it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so it's 1 bag of coleslaw, and then everything else is a tablespoon. So just mix that together and you've got a little coleslaw. I actually think if I had grated ginger, I would add it to this because I think it's so good with some ginger in there. I really thought I had, you know those squeeze tubes of ginger? I really thought I had one. I bet it expired and I threw it out and I just didn't think to repurchase. Let's set this to the side so this is completely ready to go when we're ready to serve. Oh, also you can add green onion into this. I think I ordered green onion, let me see. Actually ordered green onion and cilantro. Let's add some green onion into this. Like 3 or 4 tablespoons will be good. Yeah, see that adds such a pretty color. I love seeing that pop of green in there. That's what we like. Ooh, it smells good too. All right, so our wonton wrappers are starting to cook, but they're still nice and soft and pliable. So I'm just kind of shaping them, and then we're gonna attempt to lay them so that they'll hold their shape a bit. This pan is super hot, obviously. It just came out of the oven, duh. I genuinely don't know the best way to do this. Can this go in the oven? We're about to find out. I mean, this is not the worst idea, right? Hopefully this will help it to keep taco shape, or kind of a taco shape anyway. Probably could have done this from the beginning, honestly. But you know, this is experimental. See, this is why I do this stuff. So then you guys can make them after me and know the right way to do it. Let's try this, okay? Set another 7 minutes or so. For the chicken, all we're gonna do is put it in this frying pan and just saute and make sure that it's cooked through, and then it will be ready to go. It's only gonna take a few minutes. We're gonna start to fill these. So on each one, I'm gonna put some chicken. Stand up a little better once you get topping inside of there. Then on the top of those, we'll add a little bit more of this, a little bit of this coleslaw. Now, my recommendation would be that if you can find a finely shredded coleslaw, that's probably a better option, just based on the, you know, the size of these. But you just wanna put some of the coleslaw in there. I'm gonna add some of this sweet chili sauce to each one. A little bit of cilantro. Now, obviously you can skip the cilantro if you don't like them, but look how pretty those look. They're so cute and small, but they're gonna be delicious. All right, we gotta taste this. Seriously, delicious. The flavors of this are so good. You get that little crunch on that taco. Well, you know, the wonton wrapper. I love these. Bursting with flavor, y'all. Bursting. It is so good. So let me start off this recipe by saying that I'm choosing to make chicken wings because it's something I've been craving lately, but don't feel like you have to use this recipe with chicken wings. Sometimes when we just want to change up chicken, that's an easy way to do it, having wings, because it's a little more like an appetizer, although we definitely eat it as a meal. If you're bored of chicken, that's one way to go about it. So I'm making wings. Feel free to make breast, thighs, chicken legs, whatever you want to make with this. It doesn't matter. I also like to remove some of the skin. That is completely unnecessary. It's just me. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sit here and show this entire portion to you guys. I just like to break it down a little bit. I don't know, it's just me, but don't feel like you have to do that. Just throw all the chicken wings in there and you're good to go. Okay, so I've got my chicken wings here and they're broken down into the parts that I want them to be in. All right, I'm gonna hint toward a video idea that I've got in the works right now. It'll be coming up soon. But you know, there's always one of these in your fridge, right? So we are going to take some leftover Italian dressing, and you can get these at Sam's Club in a 2-pack. I actually bought them for a church function, and then we have a little bit left over. So I wanna use it because here's the thing, this will just sit in your refrigerator and then it's expired and you have to go buy more dressing, all this. So we are going to take some of this Italian dressing, and this is the Olive Garden brand. Feel free to use whatever you want, whatever kind of dressing you want is totally fine. This is just a recipe that I'm making up, okay? This is just me thinking about flavors, understanding how flavors work, and rolling with it. So I'm gonna add at least a cup of this dressing here into this bag. You could definitely do this in a casserole dish or something like that, so don't feel like it has to be in a bag like this. We are also, I think this one, oh no, I have an open one. Let me grab the open one. We go through a lot of Greek yogurt in our house. Okay, so I knew I had one that was already opened. I'm gonna also add about a cup of Greek yogurt. You can use just regular, plain, full fat, non-fat, whatever kind of yogurt you want. We always have Greek yogurt, so that's why I'm going for that. And I love dill. This should be no surprise to anybody, so I am gonna add dill. Oh, this is a brand new one. I don't feel like we need to add any salt or anything because of the sodium content in the dressing, 540 milligrams, so it's pretty packed full of sodium. So I don't feel like we need to add any of that at all. So the only herb, I guess you can say, or seasoning that I'm gonna add is dill, and that's just because I genuinely love this flavor. I'm going for at least a tablespoon, but keep in mind, that's actually probably more than a tablespoon. There are a lot of wings in this bag. And then because I do want a little bit of heat, I'm gonna add a little bit of Cholula. But if you don't want any heat at all and you really just want these to be like more of an Italian or Greek style wing, then feel like you don't need to do that. But we like a little bit of heat. So, I mean, could this be any simpler? You can add whatever you want in here though, okay? So don't feel like you just have to add the ingredients that I added. And then we just close up the bag and just kind of mix it all together. Let everything work together in the bag, and it's gonna just marinate for a couple of hours until we're ready to cook this. What in the world? These bags are the pits. All right, well, at least most of them are safe. I'm not even gonna put it back in the bag. All right. Let me pause this disaster and clean this up and I'll be back. All right, now that that disaster is over, let's just mix this in a bowl. We're gonna stay away from the bag. That was fun. Okay. Y'all, I have to tell you, I keep getting distracted when I look at my skin. I don't know if you guys can see it. I have super dry skin, so that rarely ever happens. Like, I rarely look at my skin and I'm like, wow, that looks great. Right now, my skin feels incredibly soft because I've been using these products from Osea. It's this limited edition 3-piece glow boosting, skin smoothing body set. I know for me, when I became a mom, self-care just kind of got put on the back burner. So I know you guys don't know a whole lot about my backstory, but my mom actually was a single mother. She didn't really have the time to prioritize any of her skincare or anything like that. She's trying to do more of it now. I'm sure that if she could go back, she would probably want to take better care of her skin. I want to teach my own daughter to take care of her skin as well. I've been using this body brush right before I get in the shower. It's the perfect amount of exfoliation, and it also promotes circulation. After I get out of the shower, I've been using this body oil. It helps with deep moisturization. It softens and nourishes and firms. After the oil sits for just a minute, I like to lock it in with the body balm in this set. You can use them separately, but I like to use them basically one right after the other. Osea is a mother-daughter, family-owned and operated business since 1996. It's clean, vegan, cruelty-free, seaweed-based, and inspired by their own grandmother. If you're looking for a great Mother's Day gift, this is absolutely a great option. You can get this limited edition set by using my code AMBERGOLDEN for 10% off. The link to this is in my description box. These are good. They are nice and marinated. Okay, well, they're sitting in its marinade. So I'm gonna put a lid on this. This is going to go in the refrigerator. I'm gonna let it sit in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. So if you don't really have the time at 2:30 to get this started, you can go ahead and do this the night before and it's gonna be ready to go. There are multiple ways to go about cooking these. And just because I have so many, we might actually cook them 2 different ways tonight. So I'll be back in just a minute and we will get these going. I just stood here and gave you guys a complete rundown on the process of what I'm doing, and my microphone was not on the entire time. So let me just explain what's happening here. We have a parchment lined baking sheet. I'm gonna be cooking these 2 different ways, and the main reason is I want them all to come out at the same time, and my air fry basket is not quite large enough to make all of these at the same time. A little more than half are gonna go into the oven and the rest will go in the air fryer. My oven is currently preheating to 400 degrees. These are gonna take about 40 minutes, maybe a little longer in the oven, but we will flip them halfway through to make sure that they get nice, even color. The oven just chimed, so I know it's ready to go. And we'll set a timer for about 20 minutes so that we can flip these. Then we'll get started on the air fryer ones. The way that I understand how an air fryer works, you can put parchment paper down on your inside of your air fry basket or whatever you're using. I know all air fryers are a little bit different, but I feel like that blocks the flow of the air, the entire purpose in the air fry. So because of that, we're not gonna put parchment paper down, and this is just gonna be a beast to clean. This is gonna be one of those soaking dishes. Listen, if y'all don't use the Dawn Power Wash though, you're missing out, because I'm telling you, that stuff will clean a pan or a baking dish faster than anything else I've ever used. I am honestly really impressed with it. All right, so our chicken wings are going to cook on air fry at 360. And we're gonna start at 12 minutes. We'll take them out and flip them, and then we will cook again, same amount of time. Okay, so I just wanna show you, even though this video is about chicken, I am actually gonna be serving these with some cubed potatoes. All that I did is cube up some red potatoes and then mix them together with some avocado oil and just our favorite Kevin seasoning. And I'm just gonna roast these in the oven with the wings that are currently in there. I'm just waiting a little bit because the potatoes aren't gonna take quite as long, so I want the wings to have a chance to cook a little bit first. You know what I just realized? Okay, so these have been in there for 20 minutes, but you know what I realized? I was actually going to put these on a rack and I forgot. I think I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, I'm gonna take these off, I'm gonna put the rack on there, we're gonna do it anyway. One day, I'm gonna do a recipe and y'all are gonna be like, man, that was flawless. Let's get some of this and just recoat. Now, I will be tossing this after this time, putting, some on there. Obviously, there was raw chicken in this, so I'm not going to put this on after these are completely done cooking, but they're about to go back in the oven, so it'll be fine for this time. And I'll use them once for the air fryer, but other than that, this is gonna get tossed. Now, these can go back into the oven and continue to cook for about 20 more minutes. We'll check them and see how things are looking. All right, the air fryer timer just went off, so we're gonna take these out and flip them, and then those will also go back in again. So same process. I'm going to flip. I'm going to add this marinade that we made up, and then they're gonna go back in for another 12 minutes. Here are the wings out of the oven, and for the last couple of minutes, we're gonna crank up our heat to a broil on high, no more than like maybe 3 minutes, but we're gonna watch it closely. Okay, here are the air fryer chicken wings. So for the last couple of minutes, I'm gonna crank my heat up to 390, and we're gonna cook these about 4 more minutes or so. and just make sure that we get nice color. I mean, it already has great color because it's air fryer, but just for those last couple minutes. We have one clean fork for dinner, and the dishwasher still has an hour left, so we're gonna have to wash some. Just for the fun of it, I've got one here from the air fryer and one from the oven. So I just wanna taste both of them so that I can give you guys, let's just see if there's a difference at all. Let's taste the air fryer one first, okay?
You really
just,
eat it with a fork?
Yeah, I eat chicken wings with a fork. Yes, I do. Air fryer, lots of flavor, nice crispy outer skin, really good. Let's try the, a little bit from the, what? Is there a deer in the yard?
Oh, there were two of them.
Two deer in the yard?
They were fixed on each other. It was right on the fence. Right on the fence.
Oh man.
Oh, she actually.
Oh, she jumped the fence.
Polly! Come here, girl. Polly! Good girl. Come on.
We have deer at our fence actually a lot. They like something right at the back of our fence line, and there's a creek behind it with woods, and our dog has figured out how to jump the fence. So there's like the perfect spot at one part of our fence. She can jump back. She can jump and go play in the creek, but she can jump back. So anyway, it's been a whole thing. All right, so this is from the oven. They're honestly pretty equal in texture and everything. The only comment, which is actually, this is surprising to me, I feel like I can taste the marinade more on the ones that are in from the oven. Now that could just be that the second time when I basted them, I added a little bit more. It could, I don't know, the oven may have it like seep in a little bit more or something like that. But overall, really good flavor. I think this marinade would be absolutely delicious. And then you were making these for like a Greek bowl or something, it would be so good for that. And you could grill them, it would be delicious. But honestly, both of these, from the oven and from the air fryer, are both delicious. And you get the ever so slightest bit of heat with that hot sauce in there. Tonight for dinner, we are having a garlic chicken gnocchi skillet. There is not one thing in this recipe that I am not excited about. Almost everything is gonna happen over on the stovetop. I've already prepped all of my ingredients so we can take it all over there. The only thing we have to do first is get these chicken thighs out of the package and season them up really nicely. All right, we have 6 chicken thighs here. I've already seasoned them with some onion powder, some garlic powder, and some salt.
Wait.
And now I'm going to season with a little bit of paprika. This is about 1.5 teaspoons. So I'm gonna flip them obviously and season the other side as well, but we wanna get paprika all over them. And I'm gonna let my husband season the other side so that since my hands are already dirty, I can do the rub. Okay, I have a total here of 5 tablespoons. We're gonna add about 2, no, this isn't even 5 tablespoons. Honestly, I said I was gonna use less butter. This is really like closer to 3.5 or 4. We're gonna add about 2 into the skillet that I already actually started heating a minute ago. We're gonna put in this chicken and saute it on both sides for about 5 minutes. Oh, and we are using chicken thighs. I mean, I think you could do this with chicken breasts if you really want to, but the thighs just have such good flavor. Okay, friends, so this is why I did not think the recipe would need a full 5 tablespoons of butter. I still agree it doesn't need that much. We're gonna take the chicken out and just let it sit to the side. It's not fully cooked, but it's gonna go back in just a little bit. This is almost a one-pot meal. Since we had to make the gnocchi separately, it's not quite there, but it's close. Now, I have my heat turned down just a little bit. We're on more like closer to a medium low now. And I'm gonna put in the rest of that butter. Not that we need a whole lot of butter here. Probably don't even need that much. You know what? I'm gonna take some out. So that's like 1 tablespoon. Add in this Italian seasoning, 1.5 teaspoons. This is gonna add such great fragrance. We've got about 1 cup of sliced mushrooms. I'm gonna add that in. You could obviously skip that if you are not a mushroom fan. This is where you would also wanna add onions. If you're adding those, we're gonna add in about 2 tablespoons of garlic, minced garlic. You guys could be in my kitchen right now to smell this. Oh my goodness. These are just gonna cook for a couple of minutes until the mushrooms have softened up just a bit. We have 1 cup of chicken bone broth. We're gonna add that in. You can just use chicken broth or chicken stock if that's your preference. And let's mix that together. And we have a half cup of heavy whipping cream. Add all that in. Still got my heat on medium. I'm just gonna let this work together for a couple of minutes. Now, this recipe called for a half cup of mozzarella. We have about a fourth maybe. So unfortunately, we're gonna run a little short on the cheese, but I'm gonna top this with an Asiago blend just to add extra cheese to the top. Also, whenever you're adding cheese to something that has like a heavy whipping cream or any type of dairy already in it, add slowly. That's kind of a tip, because otherwise I don't know what you call it. It almost looks like it's curdled, but it just kind of separates. So that's my tip of the day for this video. We pre-cooked the gnocchi according to the package instructions. It just goes into some boiling water for about 3 minutes, and you want to stir, and then you drain it off. So we just put it into a colander and drained it off. Now we're gonna add the gnocchi back into this recipe here. If you're really ambitious, you can make your own gnocchi too. It's actually not that hard, but I am making this a quicker dinner. So if you wanna make it quick and easy, then you can buy it. Okay, you guys, we're gonna add in some spinach. We need about 3 cups of spinach. Start to combine this and let that spinach wilt. I'm gonna add the chicken back in, and we'll just set it on top. We're gonna let all of this cook for just a few more minutes. I let the chicken cook enough that the inside should be mostly done. I may actually put a lid on this just for a couple of minutes just to make sure that chicken is completely done, but we don't want it to overcook either. Let's try this together. I tasted a little bite of gnocchi before it went in the sauce, and it was already good. It's perfection. It's like the perfect level of saltiness, and the sauce is delicious. Okay, we gotta try this chicken. I already know it's gonna be good with that sauce on it and the spinach. Let's get a bite of chicken with a little bit of mushroom. It is so good.
Our verse today comes from Psalm 27:4. One thing I have asked of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and that you got lots of chicken dish inspiration. I've got so many more videos here on my channel that are going to inspire you. Don't forget to go look at my description box so that you can get the link and the discount code to get the Osea limited edition set. You are not going to regret it.